Somebody asked a question that I was going to get back to. Melissa says, I eat a lot of beans, kale, broccoli. Yo, good for you. Along with water, and it keeps me full. Yeah. And so that is the power of fiber, right? So fiber is incredibly important. I highly recommend that we all like just eat more fiber. I don't care if what you're already doing right now, like, but eat more fiber because it is incredibly healthy for you. But more so, once again, in the Health Elections 2020 video I did last night, we talked about certain policies. We talked about, the digestive system. The digestive system played a big part of the debate that I had last night, the Healthy Elections presidential debate, because the digestive system, once again, is overworked and underpaid. The payment for your digestive system, one of the things that they truly like is fiber, both soluble and insoluble. And many of our diets, many of the foods that we eat are incredibly devoid or incredibly low in fiber. And so one of the best things you can do is to provide your digestive tract with fiber. We talk about like real policies with presidential debates and everything like that. And we talk about like black owned businesses and how we need more capital because we understand the deficiencies when it comes to getting capital for our businesses and our companies and our communities. That is all true. I agree with all of it. But think about what we're demanding. More resources. Why do you need those resources? Because it's kind of hard to live and survive in a capitalistic world with no capital, right? Well, let's flip it to your digestive tract. It's kind of hard to do work as a digestive tract without the very resources that you need, which is fiber, which is fiber. You're eating all of this processed food with little to no fiber, and you expect your digestive tract to not only work but work around the clock. We got our digestive tract working 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, around the clock, and no days off. Um, we were not giving it fiber, and so once again, I asked the question last night in the video, the Healthy Elections debate. If your cells were the people, like we are the people in this election, and your cells had to look at you as one of the candidates, who would your cells say that you're more like? Right now, people are largely choosing between Trump or Biden, right? Even though there's several other people on the ballot. But for the most part, people are largely looking at Trump or Biden. Who would your cells consider you to be more aligned with as far as the treatment or as far as your policies that you're going to offer? If they're telling you that we have basic needs, we need potassium, we need magnesium, we need fiber, we need calcium, we need vitamin D, and we've been telling you this for the past 40 something years, and you're not giving it to us, and now we're rebelling because we're trying to make it known that we need these very basic needs. We're protesting in the street. Our protest is turning into riots because you obviously are not getting the point that we need these things. And then what do? We're like, I see y'all out in the streets protesting, talking about y'all need vitamin D, talking about y'all need magnesium and calcium. Keep it up. I'm gonna flood them streets with medications. Blood pressure high because you don't have potassium and magnesium, which relaxes the arteries. All right, keep it up. Amlodipine, hydrochlorothiazide. Yo, get out into them streets. Shut these fools down. Same thing with diabetes. Oh, you want to resist the insulin? Okay. All right. Metformin, glyburide, glimepiride, out into the streets. That's what they're doing. That's what we're doing. And so once again, let's get to the basics. Let's listen to our bodies. Our bodies are constantly trying to talk to us. Our bodies are constantly trying to give us signs. That's what symptoms are. When we eat and we have stomach pain, that's your body letting you know, yo, what you just ate, the people, we disagree with it and we want it out now. So carry your behind to the bathroom so we can go ahead and get rid of it. And then what do? Unfortunately, a lot of times we eat the same thing again. And the people are like, yo, is he or she not hearing us? We said we disagreed with this move. Stop eating this stuff because it doesn't do us good. and we keep on doing it. And even with blood pressure increasing, you got to understand that high blood pressure, is just a sign of cardiovascular stress, right? It is an indicator for cardiovascular stress. If your blood pressure is increasing, that is not a disease. That is the people letting you know this cardiovascular system, the arteries, the veins, the heart, there's a lot of stress in here. The food that you're bringing in, the cigarettes that you're smoking, the drinks that you're drinking is making this environment incredibly impoverished. And because of the environment that you're creating with the foods and the drinks that you're bringing in, there's a lot of stress and there's a lot of unrest on the streets. And we are getting to the point where these protests are going to turn into riots. We're going to start burning things down. And so as you see the blood pressure start to go up, that is the people, the cells, being unsatisfied with the actions and the decisions that you have made. And they're trying to let you know. And we don't know this, but now we're learning right now, instead of addressing the people by flooding the streets with medications, what you should do is try to get to the root of the problem. Okay, the blood pressure is only going up because we don't have the basic resources. You mean these cells actually need potassium? These cells actually need magnesium? Where do we get the magnesium, the potassium, the calcium, the fiber, the vitamin D? Where do we get these things from? Whole foods. Well, what kind of foods are we eating right now? Processed foods, which once again, I told y'all last night in the debate, is the number one threat to our country, which is our body, right? Processed foods is the number one threat. Not coronavirus, not high blood pressure, not diabetes. Those are merely the results of years and years and years of eating processed foods. It's processed foods is the problem. The lack of movement, the drinks, the sodas, those things, those are the problems. And so instead of just trying to quiet the people and make the people sit down with more medications, why don't you listen to what the people are actually saying? And if they're telling you that we're responding this way because of the environment you have created with the food, our response should be, oh, okay, this is why they're so displeased with me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put together a package, a restoration package, a reparations package of actually whole foods, followed by fasting. Fasting, because fasting, you can take all the medications in the world. Take all the medications in the world. You can take all of the intentions and the objectives of these medications and put them into one pill. And I guarantee you, it cannot do for your body what fasting will allow your body to do. Your body is already self-healing, self-repairing, and self-regulating. It's self-regulating. For us to completely ignore the fact that we don't consciously think about our heart beating or consciously think about us breathing, but it's something that's just automatically happening in the background. The fact that we just ignore that and think that our bodies are just unintelligent and it needs the advice and recommendations of these third-party people and these medications, and that it just needs this constant influx of food, it is shown that we've been largely miseducated. And so that's one of our jobs here at H-BAMN, is to help get us back into our natural minds of understanding our body and understanding the importance of fasting. Because if you understand just what your body can do on its own, when it's left alone, we understand that, okay, it can repair itself, it can restore itself, it can do so many things because it shows that intelligence all throughout the day. So I hope y'all get what I'm saying. All right. Melissa says, and at first I didn't believe I could do it, but it works for me. I was once pre-diabetic. All right, trying to read the rest of your comment. Oh, she was once pre-diabetic and no more. Yo, good for you, Melissa. I'm so glad to hear that. Y'all read Melissa's comments. And that's another thing. Y'all should really go through my videos and just read the comments. Read the comments. Read the stories of the people who said their A1C was 12.5 last year, and now their A1C is 5.7. Read those stories and tell me, how this is happening. Because the official narrative in the medical community is that these things are chronic and progressive. There's no such thing as reversing it, right? That's the official narrative. Tell me how these folks are doing it by just fasting and eating whole foods. Tell me. Tell me.